Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? Buenos días, aquí tienen el horario para hoy, miércoles el 8 de febrero. No homework was due for today. You do have two assignments that are going to be due for Friday. Guided practice, complete the Practica con el Pretérito handout. And then the closed song lyric activity, El Amor que Perdimos. Both of these we're going to work on together today, but because today is a PD day, you may need to finish some of it for homework and make sure to submit for Friday. Also for Friday is your quiz on the preterite. And in terms of how to study for that quiz, what will be on that quiz, essentially all the notes that are on page 110, what the preterite tense is used for, the endings in the preterite tense, the fact that verbs that have a stem change in the present do not have a stem change in the past, and then Kargars are verbs, the spelling change that those verbs have, and the fact that they have that spelling change only in the yo form. That's what will be on your quiz for Friday. Daily objective for today, using the preterite, simple past tense, to talk about what you did to get ready this morning, practicing, recognizing both regular and irregular preterite tense endings, and then recognizing preterite tense conjugations within an authentic context, the song that we're going to be listening to today. Warm-up question for today, ¿Qué hiciste esta mañana para prepararte? What'd you do this morning to get ready? Take a look at how to answer that question. So using the regular preterite tense endings for AR, ER, and IR verbs, indicate three things you guys did this morning to get ready for school and include the time in your response. If you are using a reflexive verb, like the verb despertarse, to wake up, levantarse, to get up, cepillarse los dientes, to brush your teeth, ducharse, to take a shower. Any of those reflexive verbs, and you can find a glossary of those verbs on page 96 of the textbook, they need a reflexive pronoun, right? Because they're reflexive verbs, and the reflexive pronoun we would use in the yo form would be me. You don't want to include that before all your conjugations of reflexive verbs. For example, me lavé la cara a las 6:30 de la mañana. Yo desayuné cereal a las 7 de la mañana y yo fui. This is the verb ir, to go, which is irregular. We'll go over it later on, next chapter. But inevitably, you may want to use the verb to go. So just knowing how to conjugate that, you can go to page 140 to see the irregular conjugations of the verb ir. We're going to go over your Chapter 2 AB elective assessment options. And you can go ahead and click on that assignment right here to get to it. So this is your next project. It's due in a month, March 6th or 7th for UB Day classes. Essentially what you guys are going to do, it's the same as your last project, where you guys were highlighting 20 parts to your daily routine. But instead, it's going to be 20 things. You're going to outline 20 things that you did over the course of a week, of a weekend, even just one day you can highlight, kind of like how you did for your daily routine. Like your daily routine, you need to include the time and time of day in your responses. Now, different from your daily routine project, you're going to have 20 conjugations. For that daily routine project, you mostly conjugated your verbs in the yo form, right? Because you're talking about you. Now, for this, sure, the overwhelming majority of conjugations can be and should be in the yo form. if you're talking about what you did over the weekend or what have you, but you need to include for this project, you must include at least one example from each point of view. So at least one conjugation in the yo form, at least one in the tú form, one in the él, ella, usted form, one in the nosotros form, and one in the ellos, ellas, ustedes form. To talk about your friends, your parents, your siblings, you and your friends, you and your siblings, you and your family. Talking about an individual family member, and then of course the yo form talking about yourself. The natural question is, well, what do I do for the tú form? The tú is you. So how am I going to use that in my project? Well, you can just make a question in the form of a question. ¿A dónde fuiste el fin de semana pasado? Where did you go last weekend? This could be kind of the introductory question, or at the very end could be the conclusion to your project. Whether it comes at the beginning or at the very end, this could be, the first or the last of your 20 conjugations. So that's what I would do for the tú form, is just come up with a question that essentially asks the audience, essentially me, what I did over the weekend or yesterday or whatever time period you want to refer to. You could use any of these questions as an example. Examples of student work and video instructions, more detailed video instructions you could find here. There's an example of student work, which can be found here. Another example of student work, this is a fashion show that they did, which is another option that you can choose from. So that is your project that's due on the 6th or the 7th. Again, very similar to your daily routine project, just past tense. All right, let's go over these two activities, guided practice, the Práctica con el Pretérito assignment. You have a PowerPoint copy of this assignment here for those of you knocking it out at home, and more detailed video instructions here for this assignment. Essentially, what you're going to do is fill in the blank with aspects of the notes on page 110. Preterite is essentially used to talk about actions that were completed in the past. So, past actions. To form the preterite, we take the infinitive of the verb, base form, hablar, comer, escribir, cantar, comer, vivir, those are all infinitives. You then remove the AR, ER, or IR endings, and then add your preterite or past tense endings. For this chart, we're going to pick 2 AR, 2 ER, and 2 IR verbs. So 2 AR verbs here, 2 ER verbs here, and 2 IR verbs here, and then we're going to conjugate them in the yo form, tú form, él, ella, usted form, the nosotros form, and the ellos, ellas, ustedes form. 2 AR, 2 ER, 2 IR. What that verb means in English, forgive me, I forgot that part. What that verb means in English, and then conjugate them in the 5 forms. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, ellos, ellas, ustedes. All right, 2 AR, 2 ER, 2 IR verbs. What they mean. So, for example, hablar, to talk, and then the conjugations, hablé, hablaste, Hablo, hablamos, hablaron. Another AR verb, cantar, to sing. Canté, cantaste, cantó, cantamos, cantaron. And then conjugate hablar, mirar, estudiar, trabajar, tomar, cenar, and viajar. Just like how we did on the other side, where you are indicating what those verbs mean in English and conjugating them in the different forms. For the last activity, El amor que perdimos, you're going to listen to the song here, and here you have video instructions again. But here's a copy of those song lyrics. You're going to listen to the song. You have the verbs provided in parentheses. The verbs that are being used there, they're all regular AR, ER, and IR verbs. And actually, to give you a hint, they're all conjugated in the same form. So we're going to listen to the song. Really good song by Prince Royce. Same young ladies that came up with that song that I shared with you last week created this activity. So listening to the song, see if you can fill in the missing lyrics, and they're all verbs in the simple past tense, the preterite tense. So you're going to want to make sure to turn in those 2 assignments by next class, by Friday. Think about what you would like to do for your elective assessment options. Take a look at those different options there. And again, make sure to turn in those 2 assignments and be ready for your quiz.